You've probably heard about the websites that track live air traffic around the world. You might have used them to make sure a loved one's plane arrived on time, or some people use them to track celebrities in their private jets, or to calculate the carbon footprint of certain billionaires. But these websites can also be used to uncover arms sales to a dictatorship. In this video, Le Monde will show how this air navigation data and social media posts reveals an international financial crime. In partnership with the Centre for Information Resilience, we expose the practices of a European company that isn't very careful when picking its customers. A company that's trying to conceal its dealings with Myanmar's military junta and which is responsible for a war against its own people that has killed over 75,000 since 2021, including more than 6,000 civilians. This investigation began with a notification. This is Leon Hadavi, an open-source investigator working for the CIR. A specialist in arms trafficking, he spends his time tracking planes sent to Myanmar. We collaborated with him before to document arms shipments from Russia and China to Myanmar's junta. This is how his investigation started. What is this Czech airplane doing in Myanmar?
What raises suspicion is this new kind of aircraft, which we hadn't seen in Myanmar before. This is part of our regular monitoring activity, but we've learned how some of these aircraft operate just by observing Flight Radar 24 live.
At the end of September 2024, this aircraft departed from Kunovice in the Czech Republic and landed here at Yangon International Airport in Myanmar. The CIR identified 3 similar routes. 3 aircraft of the same model were sent to Myanmar by the Czech manufacturer based in Kunovice, Aircraft Industries. You may be wondering, why are these shipments a problem? They're all likely circumventing the sanctions imposed by the European Union against Myanmar. Brussels banned the sales of arms to the junta, which has been cracking down on rebel groups and civilians since 2021.
In December last month, Myanmar military bombed the general hospital and killed 34 civilians. In October, it bombed a religious gathering and killed dozens of civilians. The military is really going after homes, hospitals, schools, markets. They are implementing a campaign of collective punishment on the population.
After the CIR report was published in September 2025, the Czech Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed the existence of these deliveries, but asserted the aircraft were for civilian use. But while this model can't be converted into fighters or bombers, at least 12 armies have used it for transport or surveillance missions. The manufacturer highlights this usage in its own marketing materials. But it's illegal to sell the junta anything it could use to repress Myanmar's people.
The EU has imposed sanctions on Myanmar that covers dual-use goods that could potentially be used in a military capacity, and that's about stopping the junta's access to Western weapons.
Our investigation could have ended here, but we decided to keep tracking Aircraft Industries planes. On October 17th, 2025, a few weeks after the report was published, a brand new Let 410 took off from Kunovice Airport, destination unknown. Registered as OKZMH, it made several stops before arriving in India. This time, Aircraft Industries wanted to keep a low profile. It requested not to be tracked on 2 air traffic tracking websites. This page feature is offered by certain sites.
And with FlightAware Global, you're in complete control of who can track your aircraft.
But not all tracking sites offer this feature. This other platform, ADSB Exchange, shows the aircraft beginning its descent towards Yangon Airport on October 21st, 2025. How can we verify that it was actually delivered to Myanmar? Although Aircraft Industries usually announces all of its overseas deliveries, it doesn't communicate about its exports to Myanmar. but by searching for the hashtag aircraft industries on Instagram, we came across this account and this post. It doesn't look like much. This is the man behind the post. He's an aircraft industries employee based in the Czech Republic. Let's call him Michael. By zooming into the menu on the table, we can see it's the same one as at Melia, a 5-star hotel in Yangon. On his public Instagram profile, Michael shares a lot of his business trips to the Myanmar city of Yangon. And on closer inspection, the dates correspond exactly to the arrivals of the 4-let 410 aircraft from Aircraft Industries. This post, dated July 24th, 2025, confirms Michael's presence at the delivery of the aircraft. It shows a let 410 on the tarmac of an airport. The buildings in the image perfectly match those located here at Yangon International Airport. Michael posted this photo a few days after the aircraft registered OK-AMK arrived in Myanmar on July 12, 2025. How can we verify that Michael's photos actually showed the delivery of this aircraft? To be sure, we can rely on plane enthusiasts who photograph and film aviation activities. Like this internet user who recorded the plane's takeoff from Yangon Airport and also filmed the Czech aircraft OK-AMK on the tarmac, surrounded by 9 people. The parent company of Aircraft Industries, Omnipol, was also present at Yangon during this period. A man, let's call him Pavel, documented his business trip by leaving 3 reviews on Google between July 12th and 18th. One question remains unanswered. What are these planes really for? According to the Czech authorities, the recipient of the aircraft is the civil airline Myanmar Airways International. But this model does not appear in its fleet, and it's not used for its flights. In fact, these Czech aircraft seem to have disappeared from flight tracking websites, except for the first one, delivered at the end of September 2024. To track it, we first have to accurately identify it. En route to Yangon, its navigation data shows a stopover in Muscat, Oman. We found a satellite image taken at the same time, and the plane can be seen here. So we know that it's grey and has a white spot on its right wing. Satellite images of a Myanmar military base 4 months later show the same aircraft. The shape and dimensions match, even the white mark on the right wing of the aircraft. This aircraft transmitted some navigation data since its arrival in Myanmar. Its routes did not correspond to civilian flights. It didn't fly between cities. It could only be seen taken off from the Myanmar Air Force's major bases here and here. On November 17th, 2025, at 3:30 p.m. local time, it appeared to linger above these mountains and head towards this combat-stricken area. On the same day, a soldier from the junta based here posted this video at around 7 p.m. local time. The shape of the aircraft, particularly its wings and the fuel tanks at their tips, correspond to a let 410.
Have you ever thought about what would happen if we didn't have air support?
We're sure this is the same aircraft because it was filmed in October 2024 with its new Myanmar registration number, the same as on tracking websites, which also mention its new operator, the Myanmar Air Force. This is confirmed by this video filmed on December 11th, 2025 by a passenger on an ordinary commercial flight. This is the military zone of Magway Airport, where fighter planes, among other things, are stored. And among them, in front of this hangar, a let 410. We can once again see the fuel tanks at the tip of the wings. After Monde contacted Aircraft Industries with our findings, they maintained that its aircraft are used solely for civilian purposes in Myanmar and are configured to carry passengers. However, even Myanmar's junta has let slip hints about the aircraft's integration into its air force. Unlike with its Russian aircraft purchases, for example, the junta has not presented them at its military ceremonies. The head of the junta received this plaque on November 7th, 2025. Here, the silhouette of the aircraft corresponds to the characteristics of a Let 410.
Of course, passenger planes can be used to transport military personnel. The fact that it's a plane designed for passenger use does not in any way mitigate the fact that those planes can be put into service to commit human rights violations, war crimes, and crimes against humanity.
Could aircraft industries have been unaware of the final destination of its planes? The Czech company asserts that these aircraft are not affected by European sanctions, even though they include dual-use goods.
Companies are required to do due diligence. In the case of Myanmar, the military has captured the entire aviation sector, just about, and it uses transport planes to commit atrocities. So it's up to companies to draw on the wealth of reporting and documentation about Myanmar and about the Myanmar military and about its aviation sector, and to make a judgment on whether, that is a sound decision to sell that plane to a Myanmar company or individual.
Public commercial data shows that aircraft industries sold these aircraft for approximately €9 million each.